The golden rule goes like this: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is Christian. It is something that comes directly from the Bible. Treat others as yourself. So would you like somebody to say that your wife should be a widow, that you should die, that your wife would like it if you died? Does that sound like a polite thing to say to anybody? Go up to someone at a bar and say that at any dive bar in town, and you'll get your ass kicked, and rightfully so. If you were to say that about a public official, well, you could really lose your job if you have a big enough platform. I deign to even say this on the channel because it threatens actually the channel getting taken down. But imagine if I came out on a show or on a recording or on a live and said that Michelle Obama deserves to be a widow, and she'd like that. That's a totally evil thing to say. It is unjustifiable. You wouldn't be able to make any explanation for that. It's just evil. It's just cruel. If you said that about Jill Biden, obviously Joe Biden's had some major health concerns. But if you said Jill Biden would love to be a widow, it's like a downright nasty thing to say. I mean, I don't know. I'm not one to sit here and police speech, but I'm sitting here to say, like, you can say things are decent or indecent. And there are rules, quite frankly, on every platform for what's allowed and what's not, right? Whether it's certain curse words or pornography, or if it's wantonly saying that Hillary Clinton should be a widow, right? That Bill Clinton would die. I mean, that's what you're saying, right? If you're saying that Hillary Clinton would be a glowing widow. So if you wouldn't say it about Michelle Obama or Jill Biden or Hillary Clinton, why would you say it about Melania Trump? How can you justify it? You can't. No one can. It's wrong to say those things. And if you were punished for saying those things, like if you had a big enough platform, if you were on a taxpayer-funded platform like ABC, you'd lose your show if you said that about Michelle Obama, and you damn well know it's true. You know this would happen. If you dared say something like that about Michelle Obama, you know that you'd lose your show in a second. You'd never be invited back on corporate TV, ever. It'd be done. It'd be over. Curtains. So why does Jimmy Kimmel get away with it? This is the thing that I can't quite figure out. Why does Jimmy Kimmel get away with it? Look at this. Here's Disney stock today. As Melania Trump and President Trump and Caroline Leavitt have now all called for Jimmy Kimmel to be fired. And I'll play you that in just a second. And why suffer this? Dude's making assassination jokes. There's no justification for it. They're not even funny jokes. It's one thing if it's like Dave Chappelle and it's like a barn burner and it's really offensive. It's like Ricky Gervais. It's a barn burner. And you go, whoa, how can you say that about trans or whatever, right? About Epstein and Hollywood and pedophiles. It's one thing if you're like just letting her rip and everyone's howling with laughter. It's another thing if like the jokes aren't even funny. There's nobody on earth that thinks that this joke is funny.
There are some countries whose leaders don't support free speech. I'm not at liberty to say which. Let's just leave it at North Korea and CBS.
Ha 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 ha. That's so funny. They don't support free speech, yet I have the right to go and say that Trump deserves to die.
First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
It's not funny. If you're going to like go and push the limits and the boundaries of what, like at least make it funny. It ain't funny. And it's these reasons why the Disney stock is collapsing. Like what, when will they decide that assassination jokes just ain't worth it? It's funny the way that Jimmy Kimmel treats different deaths, right? So he makes jokes about the death of Trump. But when it's Alex Peretti.
And to the people of Minneapolis, to the Peretti family and the Good family, and these people who were looking out for their neighbors, we want you to know that we are with you and you are not alone.
If I never have to hear Jimmy Kimmel cry ever again. Obviously, Melania has called out his hateful comments. She's right, by the way. We shouldn't have these comments shoved into our TVs at the taxpayer expense. Here's the FCC's rules on public broadcasting. Again, ABC News is not like CNN. It's not like the Cartoon Network. They don't have public broadcast licenses. ABC and NBC and CBS do. That makes them special, but it also means there are special rules. They get billions of dollars of free taxpayer infrastructure. Well, Donald Trump is now out, here we go, calling for Jimmy Kimmel's firing along with Caroline Leavitt. Jimmy Kimmel, who is no way funny, has attested to his terrible television ratings, made a statement on his show. It's really shocking. He showed a fake video of Melania and her son Barron. Like they were sitting in a studio listening to him speak. They weren't, never would be. He then stated that our First Lady is here. Look at Melania. She's so beautiful. You have the glow like an expectant widow. The day after a day later, a lunatic tried entering the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, loaded up with a shotgun, handgun, and many knives. He was there. Very obvious and sinister reason. I appreciate why so many people are incensed by Kimmel's despicable call to violence and normally would not be responsive to anything he said. But this is something that's far beyond the pale. Jimmy Kimmel should be immediately fired by ABC. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald Trump. Caroline Levitt.
From this almost assassin than what you read on social media and hear in various forums every single day. The answer, if you're being honest with yourself, is that there is no difference at all. Much of the manifesto of the would-be assassin is indistinguishable from the words that we hear daily from so many. For example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late-night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Who in their right minds says a wife would be glowing over the potential murder of her beloved husband? And having experienced what I did with the First Lady on Saturday night, I can tell you that she was anything but that. This kind of rhetoric about the president, the First Lady, and his supporters is completely deranged, and it's unbelievable that the American people are consuming it night after night after night. As President Trump said on Saturday night at this podium, we as Americans must recommit ourselves to resolving our differences peacefully and uniting around the shared values that make our country great.
Enough. Enough of this stuff. It's slop. It's terrible. Jimmy Kimmel isn't doing comedy. He's pushing hateful rhetoric that poisons the country, puts real targets on real people right after the assassination attempt. Why does ABC keep handing him a hot mic? Tell the media is held accountable for promoting violence. They're complicit. Kimmel will be fired. Yes. Time to go. We certainly think so. Let me know what you think. We've reached out to the FCC chairman. Last time we were able to get Jimmy Kimmel ripped off the show for talking about this, and now we have the First Lady and the president and the White House press secretaries backing the real crime in all this. None of the jokes are funny. I love an offensive joke. This isn't funny. This is just hateful rhetoric. And we shouldn't be funding it as a taxpayer. Jimmy Kimmel has every right to get a cardboard box and draw on it and stand on a street corner, grow a beard and piss his pants and scream like any other bum. I'm not saying you should take away his free speech rights. I'm saying I don't want to pay for him to make jokes about my friend's assassination or the assassination of my president. Pretty simple. See ya.